What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and this is the UFC 255 full card predictions and betting odds. Let's get into the first fight of the night. Luis Kosei takes on Sasha Palinakov. Fight here, welterweight division. Kosei, exciting UFC prospect. Now, he's taking on Sasha Palinakov, which this guy's honestly an interesting character. He fights out of Hong Kong. He is a solid mixed martial artist. He has very serious knockout power. But he's taking on Luis Kosei, a very aggressive striker, a guy whose all his wins are by first round knockout. I mean, the guy has wrestling ability and really nasty punching power. I don't think Sasha Palinakov is going to be able to deal with that whatsoever here in this matchup. Now, as far as betting odds do go, we see that Luis Kosei is a strong minus 470 favorite to Sasha Palinakov at a plus 375 underdog. I would say Luis Kosei is about as lock of a pick you can get on these type of cards for the UFC. I think we're going Luis Kosei knockout round number 1 here. I think it's going to be absolute domination. And that's no disrespect to Sasha Palinakov, but I think Kosei is a very exciting prospect to watch and somebody to keep an eye on here in this welterweight division. And I think he should have a very fun and exciting UFC debut. Now, moving up to the next fight of the night, Kyle Daukaus takes on Dustin Stoltzfus. This was a fight that on paper, the odds are very widespread, but as far as actual skill sets go, Stoltzfus is very legit. He's a balanced mixed martial artist, very good striking skill. We saw him on the Contender Series. I will say he's taking on Kyle Daukaus, a guy with very nasty submission skills. And granted, Dustin Stoltzfus was put on his back against Joseph Pryor in their fight on the Contender Series. For me, I like the rangy striking style on the feet that Daukaus brings. I feel like Stoltzfus does have good kickboxing, so on the feet, I feel like it is competitive, but the grappling is fairly substantial. A difference here. I see Daukaus getting this fight to the mat. I see him working his ground and pound, potentially setting up submission attempts. I don't know if he'll get Stoltzfus out of there. I think Stoltzfus, is very durable, and I do think he'll probably go the 3 rounds. I'm predicting a Kyle Daukaus unanimous decision in this matchup. Now, as far as the betting odds do go, fairly widespread, as I mentioned. You see Kyle Daukaus here at a minus 320 favorite to Dustin Stoltzfus at a plus 260. I believe there's definitely some chance for Stoltzfus here, but not enough that I would go run out and bet it. I like Kyle Daukaus by a dominant unanimous decision in this matchup. Now, moving up to the next fight of the night, Alan Jouban versus Jared Gooden. Alan Jouban, longtime veteran of the UFC now. He's become definitely a gatekeeper for newer guys coming in. Jared Gooden, up-and-coming prospect. The guy is a skilled martial artist. He's definitely UFC ready, but is he ready for Alan Jouban? Alan Jouban's a very technical striker. He's got a win over Mike Perry, who is, one of the more popular fighters in the UFC. I think that Alan Jouban, he's going to be too technical. I really believe that's where the difference lies. What I've seen from Gooden, he is a good striker. He does like to leave his hands low, though, and I think Alan Jouban definitely could catch him with shots, because Jouban also very quick and precise with his striking. I like Alan Jouban because I also think he's going to be able to compete in the wrestling go and maybe even out-wrestle Jared Gooden in this matchup. I am riding with Alan Jouban. I think he wins this fight by a decision here, probably a unanimous decision, and I think he looks fairly good doing it against a guy that is just not yet ready for the Alan Jouban level, but does have potential. Jared Gooden, he's a young, up-and-coming prospect for sure. Now, as far as betting odds do go, they're actually fairly close. Alan Jouban is a minus 150 favorite. You have Jared Gooden at a plus 130 underdog. I like Jouban in this matchup. I think he wins it, but it is close. It is a competitive fight, and especially as far as the betting odds do have it, it's not super significant favorite in terms of Alan Jouban, but I think he has the tools to definitely win this fight. Now, moving up, Nicholas Dalby takes on Daniel Rodriguez. I am super excited for this fight. I like Daniel Rodriguez a lot. He's got a ton of heart. He's extremely durable. We saw that against Dwight Grant, and he packs a serious punch. This guy really can box well. He's a pressure-style boxer. He takes on Nicholas Dalby, a guy who's been in there with the who's who at this point. He fought Darren Till, but I was disappointed in his last fight, I believe against Jesse Ronson. We saw him lose that fight. and he really didn't look that great. I expected a lot more from him. With Dalby, you get a guy that is probably going to look to clinch up and possibly get this fight to the mat. I do believe Rodriguez is competent with his grappling skills and will fend that off. I think he's going to have too much punching power. I think we see Daniel Rodriguez win this fight by knockout in the second round here. Now, as far as betting odds go on this matchup, Rodriguez, strong favorite, minus 325. Nicholas Dalby, a plus 265 dog. I like Rodriguez all day here. He's a hot prospect, 13-1. He gets a knockout victory in the second round in this matchup. Now, as far as the next fight of the night, this is a very exciting female matchup in the women's flyweight division. I mean, this is going to be good. The Queen of Violence, Ariana Lipsky, takes on Antonina Shevchenko. I mean, Shevchenko is a nasty Muay Thai specialist, and Ariana Lipsky is also very dangerous with her Muay Thai. Now, in this matchup here, I will say the grappling skills could seriously make the difference. I know that Shevchenko does have a judo black belt, but if you look at her takedown defense, hasn't been great, at least against Katlyn Chookagian. Excuse me. We saw her taken down. We saw her dominated. Excuse me again. We saw her dominated over the course of 3 rounds, and she really was not competitive at any moment of that fight. I think that Ariana Lipsky does have the grappling game that could give Antonia Shevchenko problems, but I know she's going to come out heavy striking. She needs to be cautious of Shevchenko's Muay Thai skills. She needs to respect the Muay Thai because she could get caught in the feet. But Shevchenko, not the heaviest puncher. I think Ariana Lipsky actually gets the upset unanimous decision in this matchup. Not super widespread odds. It's not a huge upset, but it is a legitimate upset. Lipsky plus 135 underdog. Shevchenko a minus 155 favorite. I think Lipsky's fought the better competition. I think Lipsky has the skills to do it, and she is going to win this fight against Antonina Shevchenko by a unanimous decision in a very crucial fight in this women's flyweight division. The winner will move on and work their way to contendership. Now, moving up, Joaquin Buckley takes on Jordan Wright. This is a fun fight. Jordan Wright, he's not really undefeated. He was knocked out by Anthony Hernandez in about 40 seconds on the Contender Series. Joaquin Buckley, hot prospect at this point. He lost his UFC debut to Kevin Holland, but he knocked Impa Kasanganoi onto another planet. I mean, it was one of the most brutal spinning knockouts with the kicks that we've seen in MMA. Joaquin Buckley, very heavy power puncher, an aggressive guy. He comes forward and he likes to brawl and make it a fight. He's an antithesis to Jordan Wright, a guy that, yes, he likes to fight. He moves well, but he's definitely a range fighter. He likes to be at range. He likes to throw a lot of kicks, spinning stuff. That's not going to work well against Joaquin Buckley. Buckley is going to close the distance. Buckley is going to land massive power punches, and Buckley is going to win this fight by knockout. I really think it's a matter of when Buckley can land a clean shot. I see it within the first 2 rounds. I could potentially see it in the first. I think he could go out and starch Jordan Wright. Wright was hit against Anthony Hernandez with hard punches, and I think Joaquin Buckley is a better striker than Anthony Hernandez is. We're going to see Joaquin Buckley with a knockout win in this matchup over Jordan Wright, probably in round 1. I could also see it in round 2, but it will be a stoppage for him. As far as the odds, Buckley, minus 250 favorite. Jordan Wright, plus 210 underdog. I don't think Jordan Wright has much of a chance here. His biggest chance is going to be throwing some crazy spinning back kick, landing something wild. I think Joaquin Buckley's prepared for it. He always keeps his hand up, very high guard. He's closing distance, landing knockout punches here. My pick is Joaquin Buckley. Now, moving up to the featured prelim, I am really excited. I love the flyweight division. I think this is the #1 contender fight. The winner has to be next. Brandon Moreno versus Brandon Royval, the battle of the Brandons, 2 of the best flyweights in the UFC right now. Brandon Royval coming off a hell of a performance against Kai Kara-France. I thought Kai would actually be able to defeat him in that matchup. I will admit that Kai did hit him with one big shot. You see Brandon Royval come back with some crazy unorthodox spinning forearm or elbow, lands, rocks Kai Kara-France. He's able to dominate from there, win that fight by submission. Brandon Moreno, extremely durable and gritty. He's a guy that can go the distance. He's gone 5 rounds before. He is not an easy guy to beat. I think this is no easy test for either guy. The unorthodox striker of Brandon Royval with the very dangerous submission skills. He takes on Brandon Moreno, a guy that, is good everywhere. Solid wrestling, very good striking, moves fast. Is a guy that keeps the pressure on you and can go the 5 rounds. As I mentioned, he has the gas tank. I think it's a gritty, unanimous decision win for Brandon Moreno, not Brandon Royval. I could see Royval potentially getting a submission victory here, but I think it's going to be difficult. You have a guy that was able to grapple a bit with Jussier Formiga, who's one of the scariest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners in the flyweight division. I am riding with Brandon Moreno to win a hard-fought decision over Brandon Royval in this matchup, but it should be absolutely awesome. I am super pumped for this fight. Now, moving up to the next fight, Mauricio Shogun Hua takes on Paul Craig for a second time. In their first fight, we saw Craig really have Shogun hurt. Granted, Shogun was able to last, go the distance. It was a draw. Some people felt Paul Craig should have won. I can understand that. What I've seen from Paul Craig is constant improvement of striking. Obviously, a very dangerous submission game. Shogun Hua, legend of the sport, knockout power in his hands. Aggressive, dangerous in the tie clinch. I mean, a guy that's good pretty much everywhere, but he's older now. His chin is not the same. He really struggled against Antonio Rogerio Nogueira. I don't think he's going to win against Paul Craig here, who's coming off a big win and looked very good in his last fight. The exact opponent there, I want to pull up his name to not give you a mistake, but I know it was a tough Russian that he fought last. Honestly, I'm having a brain fart here. Against Gazarmad Antagulov. Yes, he fought Gazarmad, and he looked fantastic. He won by triangle choke in 2 minutes. He's going to beat Mauricio Shogun Hua here. I think he wins probably by stoppage within 2 rounds. I think the second round, we're going to see Paul Craig actually knock out Shogun Hua. I think he's going to land something big. Watch out for his head kicks and knees. Shogun Hua is going to take a tough loss in this matchup and most likely retire here, I would assume at least. Now, moving up, big women's fight here. Katlyn Chookagian, Cynthia Calvillo. The winner is very close to a title shot, assuming it's Cynthia Calvillo. Chookagian coming off the tough loss against Andrade in about like a minute 30 seconds. She was caught very quickly there. Calvillo, very skilled on the ground. So is Chookagian, though. I mean, Chookagian can really grapple. I think it's going to be a lot of clinch fighting, a lot of against the cage work here. I think we're going to see Cynthia Calvillo with a grinding decision. Katlyn Chookagian does have a bit of range advantage. She is a bit taller, but nothing significant here. I think Cynthia Calvillo gets this fight done. I think she wins a decision, and I think she moves closer to being the #1 contender. But I don't know if she'll be next because Jessica Andrade looks super good against Katlyn Chookagian. And if we see Cynthia Calvillo squeak by with a decision, I don't think that earns her a title fight. But I am riding with Cynthia Calvillo here. As far as betting odds on this fight, let's talk about them. And I believe I left out the betting odds for a couple of them here. We're going to first talk about the betting odds for this fight, and then I will go back. The Katlyn Chookagian betting odds, looking at them, Chookagian is a plus 225 underdog. Calvillo minus 265 favorite. I'm confident in Calvillo winning this fight. I would say she's a near lock pick, but Katlyn Chookagian, there's always going to be a chance. As far as Shogun Craig, for Shogun Hua, he's a plus 150 underdog. Paul Craig, a minus 170 favorite. I like Craig, as I mentioned. I think he's a serious favorite, and I think he definitely gets it done. As far as Moreno versus Royval, personally, I'm not huge onto betting on this fight because I think it could go either way. I could see the dog really pulling this one out, but I am riding with Brandon Moreno. He's a minus 185 favorite. Brandon Royval, a plus 160 dog. I apologize for skipping those initially, but now let's move up to the big fight on the main card that isn't the co-main event. Mike Perry, Tim Means is a fan-friendly, fun fight. It's going to be back and forth action. You have two guys that can really strike, but Tim Means can grapple, and so can Mike Perry. Don't be surprised if we see Tim Means try to take this fight to the mat, but I don't think he's going to expect as much resistance as he will get from Mike Perry. We saw Mike Perry just out-grapple Mickey Gall. And Mickey Gall is a known solid Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. And Mike Perry was able to outwork him on the ground. And he was stronger than him by a fair amount. Mike Perry, aggressive striker, tons of knockout power, doesn't have a corner man. So he's definitely going to be doing his own thing in there that could potentially, if there's adversity, come to bite him in the butt. I don't know here. I think that he could run through Means. Means is a gritty veteran, a southpaw, a guy that really has skills overall, but isn't great anywhere. I'd say his striking, though, is where he's probably going to shine. I think it's going to be a tough striking match. I think both guys are going to get hit with some solid shots, but I think Perry lands the cleaner, better punches. I think he maybe busts Tim Means up a bit. I think Mike Perry wins a unanimous decision. Wouldn't be shocked if he got a knockout within 2 rounds as well. I am riding Mike Perry in this matchup. As far as betting odds do go, I know he's a slight favorite, minus 150. Tim Means at a plus 130. I think it's going to be a great fight, and I think Mike Perry gets it done as the favorite here. Now, moving up to the co-main event, big women's battle. Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. This is huge. This is Valentina Shevchenko's, this is going to be her 20th victory if she is victorious here against Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia is a girl that is good. I mean, her grappling is very good. She gets put on her back, nasty submission skills. Not the best striker, decent on the feet, but I wouldn't say elite level. She takes on Valentina Shevchenko, a girl who's elite everywhere, I would say, with, amazing Muay Thai. She has professional Muay Thai experience. I believe only lost 2 pro Muay Thai bouts out of maybe 50 or 60. She's elite level on the feet, and she's developed elite level grappling, judo background. She's going to win this fight. Valentina Shevchenko, she wins by knockout in round 3, I believe. I think we're going to see Jennifer Maia. She's durable. She's going to stand in there, but she's going to be getting outworked from start to finish. I don't really think she has that many competitive moments even in this matchup. And it could end earlier. I have Valentina Shevchenko winning this fight. As far as betting odds, they are extremely widespread. Valentina is a minus 1,300 favorite. We have Jennifer Maia at a plus 850 dog. The dog's not going to pull it out in this one. It's tempting to see plus 850, but she's not beating Valentina Shevchenko. Shevchenko wins this fight domination, 100%. Now, next fight of the night, Deiveson Figueiredo takes on Alex Perez. Don't sleep on Alex Perez in this matchup. He's a guy with very nasty leg kicks. He's an aggressive striker, and he also has a good wrestling background, which I believe could take him far in this matchup versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Figueiredo, very dangerous on the ground, nasty submission skills, but he has something most flyweights don't have. He has very legitimate knockout power at 125 pounds. I think he can put pretty much anybody on the planet at 125 down with his punches. The way he beat up Joseph Benavidez twice was just fantastic. I think Deiveson Figueiredo in this matchup is going to beat Alex Perez. I think Perez is tough. He's going to throw some nasty leg kicks. Figueiredo needs to respect Alex Perez on the feet. I think he will. I think he's going to come in with a good game plan. I think he's going to land some big counter strikes. I think we see Deiveson Figueiredo knock out Alex Perez in round number 3, and I'm very excited. I'm super pumped for this fight. I think it's going to be an excellent flyweight matchup, and I am riding with Deiveson Figueiredo, who also is the favorite. He's sitting at a minus 270, Alex Perez at a plus 230. Some people might make a case for a Perez upset. I don't think he'll actually get the victory, but I think he will have competitive moments in this matchup. Deiveson Figueiredo, this is his night. He wins once again. He moves to 20-1, and that lone defeat, unfortunately, won't be able to be avenged anytime soon because I believe the UFC just let Jose Formiga go, which I was very surprised about. He just fought the #1 contender, and all his losses are against top guys, and he owns a win or the champion. But sometimes the UFC does crazy things. Should be an awesome UFC 255 card. Deiveson Figueiredo, I believe he gets this fight done, and I think he's going to look very good doing it. Thank you guys all so much for watching the full card predictions and betting odds. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about me actually using the Tapology page, bringing up the stats so you can see them rather than just the tail of the tape matchups on the screen. Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys all so much. Like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Also, guys, follow my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll see you all in the next video.